Thank you, Mr. Brown. We don't have any minutes here, and that leads us to a guest, and that would be Eagle Scout Jeff Brown.
Could you come on up sometime? Jeff is part of Scout Troop 102 from Bainbridge. He's an Auburn resident, and his project was tree planting at Orchard Hills Park, the county park up in Chester. So, whereas on January 9th, Jeff Brown from Boy Scout Troop 102 was recognized by the Boy Scouts of America for successfully completing all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Whereas we are gathered here on this occasion as friends, family, and members of the Scouting community to support him on his attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout and to recognize the faithful and steady path taking within Scouting organization. And whereas Scouting for boys and girls has been an integral part of Auburn Township community as well as positive influence for many years, Boy Scouts of America encourage Eagle Scout candidates to complete their worthy projects to improve their neighborhoods, their community, and their region. Now, therefore, we, the trustees of Auburn Township, do hereby recognize and congratulate Jeff Elliott Brown, Eagle Scout, for this outstanding achievement.
Coming down. Come on down, Jeff. I want to shake your hand.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As a father of an Eagle Scout myself, congratulations to you as well.
And you know, my son is just, he started Webelos this year. And so we're really starting to get into some of the requirements that are going to lead up to Boy Scout. And so I can sort of appreciate how hard it was to attain the rank of Eagle Scout. And I know from talking to a lot of people that have that Eagle Scout pin, it's going to open a lot of doors for you. So congratulations again.
Thanks, Colin.
Okay, I'm going to strike from the agenda here and bring up Mr. Dixon and Mr. Hummel. We have a contract to sign with Mr. Hummel. And while we're here, Mr. Dixon, I'll just give you a little brief.
That's an extra.
No, it's part of the deal, my friend.
This is 2 copies. Who's going to sign?
Mr. Chairman, let me see what we have, because we have one that's been stamped by the prosecutor that we should probably use.
We did add 2 sentences. I think we need to use this one.
This one?
This one here.
Okay.
Do you have 2 of those? Do you have 2 of those?
I do.
From the prosecutor? They're both the same? Yeah, let me just check.
We are the same. They're just
Okay.
2 for originals.
Just so we verify.
And then,
there's an issue.
right.
Well, just to say. Eric, you got to sign this. Okay.
Oh, I just put me in there, you know.
One is yours and one is his.
This will be ours.
Okay.
Well done. This is the transmittal of both of them.
This will be
You
ours.
can sign this one too. You want to keep this one?
This one.
Okay. That's it?
Okay.
Sure. This is mine.
Thank you very much. All righty.
All right, thank you.
We only
Thank
said-
you.
Thank you.
Give us some.
Okay. We have been, an update on the service facility, service garage. We have been meeting every week for over a month. And we brought Hummel Construction on board a couple weeks ago as part of the design and build team. And we are, basically we're in the drawings right now. We've got most of the design, probably about 90% of the design on paper, or it's going on paper as we speak. We have a couple of things we change as we put information on the drawings, and everybody has been meeting with us every week, very cooperative. We're getting a lot of information from Emmerich here and John Everly on what they want in this building, and then we look at that against what it's going to cost, and we try to keep a handle on both ends of the project. Get a lot of help from Chief Phillips here too, because he knows this site and where the fire station is very well. And we will meet again this week, and then we will allow the architect a few weeks to bring 90% drawings to us, and then I will start doing a constructability review and a cost estimate on it, and Hummel Construction will be doing the same thing. We'll be comparing notes at the end of that to see where we're at with design and with budget, and then we put it out for bids. And our goal is to break ground in March, weather permitting. It'll be done by Halloween. That's about it.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming in there.
Thank you.
Scheduled reports we have.
Oh, yeah.
Chief John Phillips.
Fire department yields his time for the road department time.
Okay, we have a little show that's going to come on here. We'll go to Mr. Troyan.
Just one item. We need to select someone to be liaison to Bainbridge this year for any of the festivities for Independence Day.
I make a motion that we appoint Michael Troyan.
I think he's done a great job over there. I'll second that.
Acceptance speech.
And just, I didn't know. Otherwise, I would have planned something.
All right. Then I'll call for the vote.
All right. Mike?
Yeah.
PJ?
Yes.
And John?
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll concede the rest of my time to your movie
Capital.
festivities here, Jim.
Yeah, I just have one thing that's of some importance, and I got to put it up for consideration here. Is been notified by the county planning director that the USGS water study that has been county's been involved with this for, I believe, over 20 years now. I guess they got data going back as far as 1978. And we had at the last Township Quarterly meeting in Montville, there was a presentation on that. Commissioners have decided to no longer fund Geauga County's participation in that. Last minute, planning was notified of, when I say last minute, on Thursday morning I took a call from up there that the deadline was the following day. And by the way, you guys are really out. And Mr. Dietrich said he was afraid maybe that was where it was going, but nobody's talked to him. So he was on the phone Thursday morning looking for participation from the townships if we would be interested. Now, since we just got back a land use plan that has, that's one of the stools of, one of the three legs on the stool supporting your large lot type zoning. And we just have a fresh land use plan that we haven't even adopted yet, probably will next month. Would we be interested? And I said, well, it's important to the long-term zoning here, or defending the large lot zoning that we have. But I did ask how many wells are in Auburn as part of this study, ongoing study. And number two, is that enough wells to defend our zoning? There's 37 wells in a network in the entire county. 3 in Bainbridge, 3 in Chester, 3 in Middlefield, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, we only have 1, and that sits on the west coast of Ladue. And that's our only well. Now, we had a kind of a real loose conversation as to how much funding would be involved here and who was being contacted on the day before this deadline. He was going to try to get to the southwest corner of the county, Russell, Newberry, also Bainbridge. Bainbridge is highly interested. I said, well, I have some interest, certainly, but like I said, how many wells are involved? And since now we only have 1, is that enough? And to me, I would think probably not.
Especially one that's right next to the Duke.
Well, that's what I mean. How does that well on the far eastern side of the township, how does that affect, water availability on the southwest corner?
What was last year's cost?
23,000, shy of 24,000 countywide, and that's how it was funded, was the county.
And the county?
County wants out.
And how much of the county is on well? 100%.
A little bit in Chardon and a little bit in Bainbridge is on city water, and maybe there's some water in Middlefield that, and there's
Still comes out of the well.
But
I would like to hear the commissioner's rationale on this.
I think it's worth putting a letter together. I asked Dave to send this down. That was Thursday. I saw it on Friday, and of course nobody's in today. Certainly didn't make any commitment that we would be involved at any financial level, although what was being thrown was $4,000 per township. I don't see it worth $4,000 for us for 1 well.
No. But there's 16 townships, so why would that end up? Why would we fund the whole thing?
He was just looking for consensus in a highly populated area. Obviously, $4,000 per township when you talk at Huntsford,
I'd say they're probably
Thompson, they're probably not going to impart them. They're probably not going to be interested.
What about dividing it up by who's got the most wells? I know they've got a lot of like Middlefield and some of the development.
I'm just saying that the office that was handling this is in Columbus for Geological Survey. And that's what USGS is. They wanted commitment by Friday. I took the phone call Thursday morning. So I think Dave was probably calling whoever he thought maybe he could get a hold of.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking.
I'd say we want to look into it a little more.
Yeah,
before
when we're
not
down
make any
in Columbus, maybe even, but it's kind of like 11th hour and 59.
It was. It certainly was.
And I kind of fault these guys. These U.S. geological guys. You got a contract and it's running out and nobody seemed to know it.
I think probably like most government agencies, they just keep doing what they do, and they don't anticipate
They had a speaker at one of the
anybody backing out.
township quarterly dinners.
Month ago.
Yeah, not letting hit the whole thing. It doesn't appear there's been really that much, from what I remember, there wasn't that much of a deviation over the whole time they've been doing it.
Well, I indicated.
Educate yourself.
With the township quarterly meeting up here might be some, maybe you can talk to some other township people about their thoughts on this. You can see when they show you that, when you see the map here where these wells are, Chardon's pretty well covered. Middlefield's pretty well covered. It's east to west, so Bainbridge. We're really not. So if everybody's on their own, I'm not sure how that one well in the eastern part of the township is going to stand as a defensible thing for our large lot zoning on the west side of town. So I will call Dave tomorrow and pass along what we discussed.
just tell me, and just mention, yeah, I think that's a good argument. It's what we want to do with it, if that's not going to be sufficient.
And, you know, if we're just going to be the people to fund this, maybe we don't need to fund all these wells.
You know, when there's as many, there's more monitored,
Exactly.
more monitored wells in Thompson than there is in Auburn.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be 4 places to fund this, and we'll go back to them and say, give us another quote. Can do that too.
Yeah, if we were in a, you know, if we had more of a representative coverage like some of these other townships I mentioned, I'd be more interested in staying involved and taking a lead on this. But
I'm saying, do you go to these 4 or at least 5, and then these guys are out. If you don't want to pay, you don't play.
I kind of think that's what Dave's thinking was that morning when he was making those calls.
You don't pay, you don't play. And then we don't need to monitor their wells more. So.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I have.
We need to get an EPA permit for the service building. And there's a form here, so I don't think it's really a negotiable thing.
EPA, not negotiable?
Like a little check with that. Okay. One other thing we need to tend to is it's uniform time. And it kind of coincides with the fact that the people we were using, Coin, they went out of business and were taken over by Cintas. We have not had the best service coming out of Cintas, and in fact, the first act of business they did was raise their rates and then not show up for one of the deliveries already in January. So we've investigated, the road guys investigated some other suppliers, and they've come up with an Airmark. And their cost is $36.01 a week as compared to $56.74 per week for Cintas. So I'm going to make a motion that we enter into a contract with Airmark.
What's the plus domestic $48.35 a month?
Domestic is another vendor.
Okay. So this is domestic. Okay. There's that part. Okay. So they're lowest of the 3.
They're the lowest. They have the same quality or better of uniforms.
Well, not the lowest of the 3, but what was domestic?
Pardon me?
What was domestic?
The price on that?
Yeah.
$48.35
a month.
Yeah.
The other one's per week?
No, they're all
Okay, so she's good. Okay. That's all per month. So they are the lowest then. Okay then, I'll second it.
Mike, did you want to opine on the uniforms? Did you care to opine on the uniforms?
Yeah, well, we agree. We had lousy service with Cintas, and also they, from what I heard, let's see, we signed a 1-year contract with the prior people that we went to because we wanted to get rid of Cintas. And now Cintas bought that company, which is why we have Cintas now. And when we discussed with Cintas, they said, oh, we have a 3-year contract with you. And checking our records, we had a 1-year contract that I had signed. And so I think it's starting all over again, so I would definitely agree with going with Aramark.
All right, Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes. Okay. Now this brings us, we do have a guest here, Mr. Gorse from the engineer's office, and he's offered to, he has a couple of resolutions, but he offered to, requested that we do the road presentation first so that he can enjoy it. As usual, Emmerich and I went up to the engineer's office last week and reviewed all of our projects for the next, what we have slated for the in detail next year and the next up to 5 years, and so we're here now to present it to you fellows and see what you think. Gone through that. We do have a couple of things. We've been up working with the engineers, and they've been so gracious to run our projects and get a lot of the engineering started on them and come up with some resolutions for us. And so if we want to take a look at and maybe pass a couple of these resolutions of convenience and necessity. Nick offered to take them back up there for us, and what you got first on us today?
2016-1 resolution of convenience and necessity for chip seal various roads.
Okay. I could have to Mr. Troy in and read it. He's good at that.
Alrighty. Resolution 2016-01. Whereas the Auburn Township Board of Trustees has determined that for the public convenience and welfare require the improvements of Stafford Road, TR 187, and Valley Road, TR 199, and to authorize Geauga County Engineer to prepare engineering plans in accordance with Section 557301 of the Ohio Revised Code. Now, therefore, be it resolved by unanimous vote of the Auburn Township Board of Trustees that the public convenience and welfare requires improvement of Stafford Road, TR 187, and Valley Road, TR 199, in the Township of Auburn, County of Geauga, State of Ohio, by the application of chip seal surfaces as necessary. Be it further resolved that Geauga County Engineer is hereby directed to make such surveys, plans, profiles, cross-sections, estimates, and specifications as are required for the improvement and to transmit copies of the same to this board. Be it further resolved that the costs and expenses of said improvement shall be apportioned as follows. The right-of-way costs, if any, and the construction costs for the project shall be paid from local funding sources. The engineering will be provided by Geauga County Engineer at no cost to the township. Be it further resolved that the fiscal officer of Auburn Township Board of Trustees is hereby instructed to transmit a certified copy of this resolution to the Geauga County Engineer. Make a motion to accept that resolution.
Second that.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay, that's an engineer's estimate of $220,000 on that project.
Next up, we have resolution number 2016-02, resolution of convenience and necessity for the construction of various roads.
I got it. I'll read it. Board of Trustees determined that public convenience and welfare require the improvement of Ascot Lane and Belmont Lane to authorize the Geauga County engineer prepare engineering plans in accordance with 557301 of the ORC. Therefore, be it resolved in the unanimous vote of the Board of Trustees that public convenience and welfare requires the improvement of Ascot and Belmont in Auburn Township by cement stabilization, asphalt resurfacing, stabilizing the shoulders, and related improvements as necessary. Further resolved that the engineer is hereby directed to make such surveys, plans, profiles, cross-sections, estimates, and specifications as are required for the improvement, and transmit copies of this to the board. Further resolved, costs and expenses of the improvement shall be apportioned as follows. Right-of-way costs, if any, and the construction costs for the project shall be paid from local funding sources. Engineering provided by the county engineer. No cost to the township. Further resolved, the fiscal officer is instructed to transmit a certified copy of this resolution to the county engineer. Motion to adopt that resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Next, we have resolution number 2016-03, resolution of convenience and necessity for the improvements of various roads.
I'll take that one as well. Whereas the Auburn Township Board of Trustees has determined that the public convenience and welfare require the improvement of Washington Street, TR 47, and Whisperwood Circle, TR 569, and to authorize the Geauga County engineer to prepare engineering plans in accordance with Section 557301 of the Ohio Revised Code. Now, therefore, be it resolved by unanimous vote of the Auburn Township Board of Trustees that for the public convenience and welfare requires the improvement of Washington Street, TR 47, and Whisperwood Circle, TR 569, in Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, by repairing the existing pavement and embankments, replacing culverts, improving drainage structures, asphalt resurfacing, stabilizing the shoulders, and related improvements as necessary. Be it further resolved that the Geauga County engineer is hereby directed to make such surveys, plans, profiles, cross-sections, estimates, and specifications as are required for the improvement, and to transmit copies of the same to this board. Be it further resolved that the costs and expenses of said improvement shall be apportioned as follows. The right-of-way costs, if any, and construction costs for a project shall be paid from local funding sources. Engineering to be provided by the Geauga County engineer at no cost to the township. Be it further resolved that the fiscal officer of Auburn Township Board of Trustees is hereby instructed to transmit a certified copy of this resolution to the Geauga County engineer. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
I want to add that Belmont and Ascot estimate from the engineer is $640,000, and the Whisperwood culvert is $125,000 estimated.
We have one other thing we need to do, and it's an agreement between the Geauga County engineers and the Township Board of Trustees. And this is regarding the drainage improvements to Washington Street, TR 47 in Auburn Township, Geauga County. And we're going to not just resurface this, we're going to include all of the drainage along here. There's a couple of catch basins that have to be corrected. We're talking about putting a couple of little curbs in, and like up close to the Auburn in there, and very much needed. It's also going to be a step towards helping to clean up the appearance of Auburn Corners, the infrastructure there at Auburn Corners. Okay, I'll keep signing.
And that road's a pretty squeaky wheel. It really broke up last winter. That needs it.
It was all surface failures of the layers that we've been putting on it. Underneath that road is a concrete road,
yeah.
And so
long ways down, I'm sure.
It should be fixed for quite a while. I mean, as Emmerich pointed out, it's been there for what, 25.
Yeah. So 85 was the last surface.
That was concrete before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think they did that concrete when they built the reservoir.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
Yeah. 64?
60s, 64.
Okay, this agreement is entered into the 18th day of January 2016 between the Geauga County Engineer and the Auburn Township Board of Trustees. The purpose, agreed a culvert CU 47.0.20 and associated drainage appurtenances located on Washington Street in Auburn Township, Geauga County, are deteriorated and in need of repair and replacement. And so it's kind of a lengthy thing, so I'm going to just paraphrase a little bit of what we have to cover here. We're basically engaging the engineer to do all of the engineering associated with this project. The project needs to be completed by December 31st of 2016. That interesting clause they threw in here that we want to make sure that we understand that we still own the culvert and that no ownership of the culvert is transferring to the engineer.
We're not going to call it a bridge. No, I keep trying.
We tried to give it to them, and they, I thought it was a nice gift. And that this is a contractual agreement we're going to do with them, and it supersedes any verbal or otherwise discussions we've had with the engineer regarding culvert replacements, and that this is the entire contract. So we need to sign that. I'll make a motion we adopt that.
Second.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John? Yes. Okay, so that we got a lot of signing to do. And then, what else do we have on here? I think we got everything.
We've got 3 resolutions here. We got 4 things to sign. We got Washington Street and Westford Water on the same.
We should have the memorandum and 3 resolutions.
3 resolutions.
Okay, anything further, you guys?
One last little item. Chief, when is the pancake breakfast?
Last Sunday of February, first Sunday of March.
Okay, everybody's hereby notified.
Okay, any comments or questions?
Nice job on the road department plan.
Thank you, man. And Rick put in a ton of work on that, I have to say. Good job. And Nancy.
I don't think there's too many townships doing that, are there?
No, there's none. Nick, can I agree? Thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion of all motions.
So moved.
Second.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes. All right. Okay, Nick's going to collect these and take these with him. Any more, PJ?
No,
I got 2, 3.
I gave you 3 back there.
You signed already?
Okay, good.
Oh, you're going to sign the second.
There we go.